Hey guys, this is my first official dread vlog and my fourth attempt at recording it. I've been having some technical difficulties with my Mac. My microphone just hasn't wanted to record the audio, so I've got a whole lot of video and absolutely no audio. I'm really hoping it takes this time, because if I'm going to sit here talking to my camera for 7 or 8 minutes without any actual result, I'm going to feel like a total idiot. Anyway, I'm here to start answering some questions. This vlog's probably going to cover basically just facts about dreads in general. Nothing really too specific, because I figure I should start from the beginning. Why do I have dreads, myths about dreads, just general facts about dreads, then the actual getting of them and maintaining them and all that stuff. Basically the process you would go through if you were researching them yourself to get them. The first thing I'd like to address is that my dreads are not dirty. There's so many people going out there saying that dreads are dirty and assuming that I don't wash my hair, that there's no possible way I could because it's all matted together, and that's just not accurate. I wash my hair just as often as I washed it before I had dreads. And I am really thorough. I use my dread soap just like I'm supposed to. I don't use anything that leaves residues behind that could potentially cause dread rot or a gnarly smell or something weird like that. They're actually probably cleaner than my regular hair was. I don't have any residues in it because I only use residue-free shampoo. I use Dreadhead HQ Dread Soap. I find it works really well. It gets them nice and tight and very clean, and doesn't leave anything behind. No frilly, flowery smells or anything like that. No conditioners. Conditioners are very bad for your dreads. It will actually cause the knots to slip. And when the knots slip, they're not tightening. They're not staying knotted. You're going to wind up with loose, kind of crappy dreads if they stay dreaded at all. Another thing is that you really need to keep your dreads clean, because if you don't, the natural oils from your scalp are going to cause them to slip too. Your oils in your scalp are oils. They're going to act as lubricant. That's how it works. So you really need to keep your dreads clean in order to get them to lock up. Another thing is that your scalp adjusts when you have dreads. When you're combing your hair, your scalp produces oil to account for the fact that you're combing it out every morning. You're combing out the oils, brushing out the oils, whatever, when you brush your hair, and your scalp produces a certain amount to keep up, to maintain a balance, to maintain, a healthy scalp. And when you're not brushing it anymore, it doesn't need to produce as much oil to keep up, because you're not getting rid of as much oil. So it starts to slow down the oil production. During the first couple weeks of having dreads and not combing your hair anymore, you do go through a bit of an adjustment period where your head will start to itch a little bit as it's adjusting to not being stimulated as much with with the comb, and it starts to feel kind of unpleasant. It's a process to get used to. But after the first couple of weeks, your scalp kind of fully adjusts, and you don't really have to worry about it as much. It doesn't itch. You just wash your hair as you go, and that's really about all there is to it. Dreads do require some maintenance from the beginning. I suppose they don't require them. They should probably lock up regardless. That's what hair does, is dread. I've never dreaded my hair and then not maintained it and just let it do its own thing. I kind of did do a certain amount of dread maintenance, such as palm rolling and tip rubbing, to get some tips here. Used some dread products, some sea salt, things like that. Natural sea salt, not like bath salt. But hair dreads, it's what it does when you don't brush it, and if you keep it clean enough not to slip, and if you don't put conditioners in it, it's just gonna knot. That's what hair does. So they're pretty hard to mess up as long as you keep them clean and you don't leave anything in them. Another thing about conditioners and residue-y shampoos is that they leave behind a residue. And when you leave behind a residue in your hair like that, especially as your dreads mature, they can't get rid of moisture. So when you're washing your hair with these residue-y shampoos, the water is not going to be able to leave your hair. It's getting trapped in that residue-y buildup, and that can produce mildew. You really don't want mildew. Dread rot is not a pleasant thing. I've been lucky not to experience it myself, but it stinks, and it usually leads to having to cut your dreads because you can't really comb through all that. It's really gross. So you need to use a residue-free shampoo or an anti-residue shampoo. I recommend Dreadhead HQ's Dread Soap because I've found that that works best for me. There's a lot of kind of opinions floating around out there about different Dread products coming from Dread companies and things like that, and I'll probably address Dread products and that topic in another video. I'm just kind of getting random facts out there at this time. Reasons for getting dreads? It's important to have a reason. If you're just getting them to get them, you're a lot more likely to give up on them and not see them through to their full maturity when they're going through those awkward stages and things like that where they don't necessarily look their best and require more work, and you're like, oh, this is really annoying. If you actually have a reason to have them, you tend to be a little more dedicated to getting through that, and you do reach a point where they're really awesome. They're fully locked up, they're looking great, and you don't have to do anything to them besides wash them. And they're awesome when they get to that point. This is my second round of dreads, and it's awesome to just be able to wake up and go and have to do nothing to your head but wash it. And yeah, my personal reason, I've kind of got a white girl fro, I'm not gonna lie, and I really hated having to wake up 2 hours before I had to be anywhere to wash, condition, blow dry, straighten my hair every morning, and then get ready with getting dressed and everything like that. It's just more trouble than it's worth. I like my dreads better. It's easier for me. I don't have to worry about it. I just get up and go, wash them in the evening, call it a day. It is important to have a reason. Like I said, that was mine. Some people do it for spiritual things. That really wasn't my thing. It's what worked better for me. And knowing that at one point when they matured, I wouldn't have to do anything to my head at all besides wash. That's what kept me going through all the awkward stages. These are still really young, but my first round of dreads, my base dreads are 4 months, and my extensions are, I don't know, 2 weeks or something. But, excuse me, but when they hit full maturity, and I've had dreads that I sought through to maturity, it's really rewarding to not have to do anything. And going back to regular hair afterwards was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. To go from no maintenance to high maintenance was just not my deal. I'm not a high maintenance person. But I guess that's just kind of the way to go. Have a reason, take care of them, keep them clean, and see them through to the end, and hang on to them. Keep them around for a while. This video is kind of approaching the 8-minute mark, and I promised myself I wouldn't sit here and rant for too long and waste your time. So you can expect to see probably a couple more videos from me tomorrow or something. You'll probably see a good cluster of videos in the next few days, a couple weeks, to kind of answer the surplus of questions I've been waiting to answer, which is the reason I started the vlog. And then it'll kind of trickle off as questions slow down and I don't really have like a stockpile to go through answering. So I guess that's it for this evening. I hope that was kind of helpful. Enjoy.